We had an outhouse, and our refrigerator was on the front porch, which apparently was not uncommon for Leadville, Colorado in the 60s. But anyhow, I was an infant, and my mother and my father had gone out for the evening, and they hired a babysitter to to babysit me, obviously. And the stories they tell me, he was like, a 17-year-old kid. And this is in the time when the Beatles were really popular. And they told him, just, don't play any Beatles albums. Just don't do it. Of course, they left and went on and were doing whatever the hell they were doing. I don't even freaking know. I still can't imagine my mother and my father being Anyway, that's another story. So, the Beatles are popular, and he's a teenager, and so he puts on the Beatles album because my parents obviously have some, so and there's a question there that I haven't answered yet, and I haven't had answered, but anywho, he puts on an album, and it's just playing, the album is spinning, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, the needle picks up and stops. No big deal, he just mechanical failure. He thinks it's just like no big deal. So he starts it over again, and it's just spinning around. Then all of a sudden, okay, well, he's a little unnerved about it. And at that point in time, I'm in my crib. I'm such a cute little baby. And I start crying. It's time for my bottle. So he goes out to the front porch. We're in Leadville, Colorado, and it's in the 60s, and it's a different era. Goes out to the front porch, to the refrigerator to get my bottle. It's not there. He comes inside, and he sees me in my crib. I'm propped up on a pillow that he hadn't seen in the house before, and I'm sucking on my bottle, fully warmed. My parents come home to this teenage boy and his parents, and they're just totally shaken up. Anyway, there was another time my mother walked into her bedroom, and on the bedside table, which is where my bottle was, she watched my bottle skit, 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 and watched the top unscrew and spill out over my father's side of the bed. We had a cat named Mac, and the mailman wouldn't deliver the mail sometimes because Mac was like a pit bull cat. But anyway, Mom was cleaning out the house, and she saw Mac trying to get out the doorway, but there was an invisible finger holding his collar, so Mac couldn't get out. And like I said, we were in the mountains of Colorado, and apparently back then plumbing was not a thing. I don't know. But my mother was out cleaning the outhouse. And after she cleaned the outhouse, she would come in and the house would smell of cookies and cakes. and gingerbread, and because Mrs. Matson was appreciative of the things she would do. Mrs. Matson was, I don't know, I think she's still a prominent figure in my life. My father, who I finally met when I was 50, thought that she was still haunting him. Well, she may have been. She was always protecting me, and I do believe she's still protecting me. There's not much that scares me because I have Mrs. Matson. And people don't understand that. And you don't have to. You don't have to. But that's just another little story that, these are my drunken diaries, and there you go. You got another little small story of my life, and my life is crazy and amazing, and it's beautiful, and, I miss you, Robert. I hope you're well.